All right, y'all. Story time on how I became a single 40-year-old child-free woman by choice to a foster mom in a matter of 2 months. Okay, y'all have dragged me by my edges for this story time, and y'all got to get pajamas because me and baby girl been fighting for our lives all night. So let's just get into it. All right, so the beginning of January, I made that video about how I was going through this midlife crisis, blah, 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 and how I didn't know what to do with this next half of my life. So I was asking women what they did when they turned 40. Anyway, cut to a week later. I'm at work and my mom calls me and she said, "Hey, I got a letter from the Department of Child Safety and do you know who baby Lucky Charm is?" I'm calling baby Lucky Charm for confidentiality purposes. And I said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And she said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "All right." And she said, "Well, they're related to you." And I said, "Okay, well, that's typically what happens when a child is in care. The state tries to find relatives and they send letters out to anybody who comes up as a relative." So I didn't think anything of it. Cut to the following week, January, I believe it was January 22nd. I am at work again and I'm on my break, on my lunch break, and I'm planning my 40th birthday retreat. If y'all want to see snippets of that, it's a couple videos back. I had 15 girls and we were doing a whole weekend celebration for me, but I get a phone call and I get a phone call from an investigator from DCS telling me about Lucky Charm. And they asked me if I knew about Lucky Charm and I said no. And they said, "Well, basically, we are looking for a relative placement home for her. Would you be open?" They also said, "Please note that if you are open to being a foster home to baby, it may go to adoption. It may be not just a short-term foster situation, but it may end up going to adoption forever. So please keep that in mind before you make your decision." So I asked her to give me some time to obviously think about it because I felt like I was just hit by a bus and that I need to do all my research about the baby, about my relative, the parent of the baby. So February 14th, Valentine's Day, I had a meeting with everybody. I had a meeting with the parents, the caseworkers, some other people from different agencies, and the emergency foster mom at that time. And at that time, I got information about the baby's medical needs, if there were any developmental or health issues with the baby, just to kind of get an idea of what I could potentially get myself into, right? So I got all that information at the meeting, and basically by the end of that week, after much prayer, talking to my mom, talking to my giant tribe of moms, I have well over 10 moms in my group circle, and just really mulling it over and thinking about her medical needs and possible medical needs in the future and all the time that I would have since I'm by myself to give to her, I decided to take her. Now, this decision did not come lightly because I knew that my entire life was going to change. I mean, I have nothing but freedom, financial freedom, and resources to do whatever I want, whenever I want, right? And I knew that this was going to change my life forever. But the one thing that I knew more than that was that this baby girl is my relative. And she's a little black girl who was already in the system right after birth, and she didn't deserve to be there. She didn't deserve all the things that came with her being born physically, and that there's no way that God blessed me with everything that I have to not help this little black girl have a fighting chance in life. And it was very simple for me. For some reason, I had peace with the whole situation. So yes, I mourned my single, fancy, free lifestyle, but I began to get excited about being able to give back to somebody who is my flesh and blood. So that's how it happened. After that meeting, I had home inspections. I had 2 home inspections. I had to sit down and go over paperwork with a kinship coordinator. They call family members kinship, and then other people foster parents, but it's the same role. And baby, they wanted to know everything. I had to provide my salary, I had to provide my spending budget, I had to give them background information on my relatives and my relationships with the relatives. I had to give them information about what I do for entertainment, how much money do I spend on frivolous things, my relationship with my mother, my tribe, my friends. Do you have friends? Are they moms? I had to give them information on what would be my parenting style. So it was a stack like this, honey. That stack was bigger than the stack of papers I filled out to buy my home. And if y'all are homeowners, y'all know. And which it needed to be, right? This is a little infant, and so they had to do their due diligence. So after I did that and they inspected my home, they gave me the okay to take baby girl, and then a motion to the judge had to go out to grant me physical custody. So that took about another week and a half. And then after that was granted by the judge, I got a phone call from baby girl's social worker, and she said we will bring her up to you St. Patrick's Day, hence Lucky Charm. So yeah, all of this started around January 15th with the letter, and they brought her up here March 17th. 2 months to change my entire life, potentially forever. So if y'all are interested in my journey being a first-time mommy, I don't know how long this is going to be. It could be 6 months. It could be the rest of my life. But I'm learning this day by day. I'm so thankful to my tribe that has come to my house, giving me all the baby things, giving me all the tutorials in these past 2 months, and really just tried to prepare me as best they could for this journey. But I'm terrified. Woo! But I am excited, and I wanted to say a couple things. There are some people in here that went through the foster care system in my comments. I just want to tell y'all from the bottom of my heart, y'all are amazing and y'all are resilient, and God put y'all here for a reason. Honestly and truly, y'all are amazing people. So if you haven't heard that lately, I'm telling you that, and thank you for sharing your story with me. For the moms encouraging me on here, y'all please keep encouraging me. Even for the non-moms, if y'all just curious how this is gonna go, thank y'all so much. There are hundreds of beautiful comments wishing me and baby girl well, and I really do appreciate y'all. And I gonna finish out the rest of this week working remotely. I work in IT, and starting next week, I can't even believe I'm about to say this, I am going on maternity leave, honey, for 12 weeks to bond with baby. And I will be vlogging, I guess, my journey step by step. So if y'all are interested, I would love to have you. And that's it, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.